There is a battle raging inside every one of us. A battle not against the world, not against the people around us, but against ourselves. You versus you. The greatest struggle we will ever face is not with the outside forces, not with circumstances, not with those who doubt us, but with the person we see in the mirror. The real war is between who we are and who we were created to be. It is between the part of us that wants to rise and the part of us that holds back in fear. It is between the version of ourselves that chooses faith and the one that gives in to doubt. Every day we stand at a crossroads. One path leads to growth, discipline, and purpose. The other path leads to compromise, complacency, and regret. And the choice is ours to make. No one else can fight this battle for us. No one else can decide whether we step into our destiny or stay trapped in excuses. The enemy within whispers words of defeat. You're not strong enough. You're not good enough. You're not worthy. But that is a lie. You were created with strength. You were designed with purpose. You were called to rise. And the only thing standing in the way is the version of yourself that refuses to believe it. So, what will it be? Will you let fear win? Will you allow past failures to dictate your future? Or will you stand up, shake off the chains of doubt, and become the person you were meant to be? There is a version of you that is bold, courageous, unshaken. A version of you that refuses to settle, that keeps pressing forward, that never gives up. That version of you is waiting on the other side of your decision. It's you versus you. And today, you decide who wins. There is a battle taking place every single day, a battle that many never truly recognize. It is not a fight against the world, not against other people, and not even against the circumstances that life throws our way. The real war is within. It is the struggle between who we are and who we are meant to be, between our potential and our past, between faith and fear, discipline and laziness, courage and doubt. This battle does not take place in a stadium, in an arena, or on a battlefield where others can see. No, this is a silent war, waged in the heart and mind, in the depths of our soul, when no one else is watching. It is the voice inside that tells us to push forward, and the other voice that whispers, it's easier to stay where we are. It is the constant tug between the desire to grow and the temptation to stay comfortable. Every person faces this battle, but not everyone wins. One of the greatest lies we tell ourselves is that our biggest obstacles are external. We blame our circumstances, our upbringing, our past failures, or even other people for where we are in life. But the truth is, nothing outside of us has as much power over our destiny as what is happening inside of us. The limits we place on ourselves, the fears we allow to control us, the excuses we make, these are the true enemies that keep us from moving forward. The moment we recognize that the real fight is not with the world, but with ourselves, everything changes. Fear is one of the most powerful weapons in this internal war. It disguises itself in many forms: fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping into the unknown. It keeps us from taking risks, from trying again after a setback, from believing that we are capable of more. Fear tells us to stay where it's safe, where we won't be criticized, where we won't have to struggle. But what fear doesn't tell us is that staying in the same place is its own kind of defeat. Growth only happens when we are willing to step into the uncomfortable, to face the unknown, to walk forward even when we are afraid. Doubt is another enemy that rises up in this battle. It tells us that we are not good enough, not strong enough, not smart enough to achieve the things we dream of. It reminds us of every past failure, every mistake, every shortcoming. It convinces us that success is for other people, that some are just born to win while others are meant to struggle. But doubt is a liar. It thrives on insecurity, on comparison, on the belief that we are not worthy. The truth is, every person who has ever achieved something great has faced doubt. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of doubt, but the refusal to let it win. Laziness and complacency are also part of this internal battle. It is easy to talk about change, to dream of a better life, to make plans for a future that looks different. But talking is not enough. Dreams without action are just wishes. There comes a time when we have to stop waiting for the perfect moment, stop waiting to feel ready, stop waiting for everything to align perfectly before we take the first step. The person who wins the battle within is the one who learns to take action despite how they feel. They understand that motivation will not always be there, but discipline must be. They wake up early when they want to sleep in. They put in the work when no one else is watching. They push forward when it would be easier to quit. The enemy within is persistent. It does not take a day off. It will always look for ways to pull us back into comfort, into fear, into mediocrity. But just as the battle is internal, so is the victory. It happens in the small decisions we make every day. The decision to get up and work when we don't feel like it. The decision to speak words of faith instead of doubt. The decision to keep going when everything in us wants to stop. The battle may be tough, but so are we. And the moment we understand that our greatest fight is not with the world, but with ourselves, we take the first step toward winning the war. Every day, we wake up with a choice. Before our feet even touch the ground, decisions are waiting to be made. Some seem small and insignificant, while others carry the weight of our future. But whether big or small, every choice shapes the direction of our lives. The path we are on today is the result of the decisions we made yesterday. And where we end up tomorrow will be determined by the choices we make today. It is easy to believe that success or failure happens all at once, that people rise or fall in a single moment. But that is not true. No one suddenly becomes great, just as no one suddenly falls into destruction. It happens gradually, step by step, choice by choice. The person who is disciplined and successful did not wake up one morning and find themselves at the top. They made daily decisions to work hard, to stay focused, to keep pushing forward even when they didn't feel like it. Likewise, the person who feels stuck, lost, or defeated did not arrive there in a single moment. It was the result of daily compromises, daily excuses, and daily neglect of the small things that matter most. Every day we are faced with two paths, one that leads to growth, strength, and purpose, and another that leads to complacency, regret, and wasted potential. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not luck, talent, or background. It is the choices they make when no one else is watching. It is choosing to get up early and put in the work instead of hitting snooze. It is choosing to be disciplined when it would be easier to be lazy. It is choosing to push forward when it would be easier to give up. One of the greatest dangers in life is believing that small decisions do not matter. A single unhealthy meal does not make a person unhealthy, just as one workout does not make a person fit. But repeated over time, those choices determine everything. A single act of laziness may not seem like much, but repeated over weeks and months, it becomes a habit. A single moment of fear or doubt may not seem like it will change anything, but when we give in to it daily, it shapes our identity. The small things we do consistently matter more than the big things we do occasionally. Discipline is built in the small, unseen moments. It is built when we choose to do what we know is right, even when we do not feel like it. It is built when we take control of our thoughts, refusing to let fear, negativity, or doubt rule our minds. It is built when we show up again and again, even when progress feels slow, even when the results are not immediate. Many people give up because they do not see instant success. They expect quick results, and when things don't change overnight, they quit. But real change is not instant. It is a slow process, shaped by daily habits and choices. Some choices seem small, but their impact is enormous. Choosing to speak life instead of complaining. Choosing to be grateful instead of bitter. Choosing to forgive instead of holding on to anger. choosing to keep going when it would be easier to stop. These decisions made daily shape our character and our future. No one wakes up one day with a strong, unshakable mindset. No one wakes up full of confidence and purpose without having chosen day after day to build it. The people who inspire us, the ones who seem unbreakable, who walk with boldness and purpose, did not become that way overnight. They made daily choices to train their minds, to focus on what matters, to discipline their emotions, and to push forward no matter what. At the same time, every day presents an opportunity to turn things around. No matter how many wrong choices we have made in the past, we can start making the right ones today. No matter how many times we have given in to fear, laziness, or doubt, we can choose a different path now. Our future is not determined by our past. It is determined by the decisions we make moving forward. The only way to change our lives is to change our choices, one day at a time. In the end, it is not the big moments that define us, but the small, consistent decisions we make every single day. The choice to rise or to remain the same. The choice to fight for our future or to surrender to mediocrity. The choice to believe in what is possible or to settle for less. Every day we decide who we are becoming. Every day we shape our future. The question is, what will we choose? Every day we are faced with decisions. Some seem small and insignificant, while others feel heavy with the weight of our future. But whether we realize it or not, every choice we make is shaping our destiny. Our lives are not determined by chance, luck, or outside circumstances nearly as much as they are by the decisions we make each day. The power of decision is one of the greatest forces we have, yet too many people surrender it, either by making choices based on fear, by refusing to make choices at all, or by allowing life to make decisions for them. Indecision is a decision in itself. Many people hesitate, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, or the perfect level of confidence before taking action. They tell themselves they will start that business. When they have more time, they will chase that dream when life is less stressful. They will take a leap of faith when they feel more ready. But the truth is, there is no perfect time. Waiting too long to decide is often what keeps people stuck in the same place, year after year, wondering why nothing has changed. The reality is that life does not wait. Opportunities pass, time moves forward, and those who refuse to decide ultimately allow life to decide for them. Some people fear making the wrong choice. They are so afraid of failure that they do nothing at all. But failure is not in making a wrong decision. It is in making no decision. Even a wrong choice can lead to wisdom, growth, and a better path forward. The most successful people in the world are not those who have never made mistakes, but those who have learned from their mistakes and kept moving forward. Every decision, even the wrong ones, can teach us something valuable, but refusing to decide out of fear only leads to regret. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every moment of growth begins with a decision. A decision to start, a decision to keep going, a decision to believe when doubt is loud. Nothing changes until a choice is made. People often look at others who have achieved success and assume they were just lucky or naturally gifted. But behind every success story is a person who made a decision to step out, to take risks, to stay disciplined, to fight through adversity. That same power exists within each of us. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is not talent, intelligence, or background. It is the willingness to make bold decisions and take action. One of the most powerful decisions a person can make is the decision to take responsibility for their own life. Many people blame their circumstances, their past, or other people for where they are. But as long as we believe that something outside of us is in control, we remain powerless. The moment we decide that our life is in our hands, that we have the power to change, to grow, to break free from limitations, that is the moment everything shifts. Responsibility is not a burden. It is the key to freedom. When we take ownership of our decisions, we take ownership of our future. Discipline is also a decision. It is not something a person is born with. It is something they choose every day. The decision to wake up early, to push past excuses, to put in the work when no one is watching. These are the choices that separate those who succeed from those who only dream. Discipline is not about waiting for motivation. It is about deciding that what we want most is more important than what we want right now. The person who waits until they feel like it will never accomplish much. The person who decides to act regardless of how they feel will accomplish more than they ever imagined. Decisions define who we become. The choice to forgive instead of holding on to bitterness. The choice to push forward instead of giving up. The choice to believe in ourselves instead of listening to doubt. These are the choices that shape our future. No one else can make them for us. It does not matter what has happened in the past or what mistakes have been made. At any moment, we have the power to make a new decision that changes everything. The power to rise, to grow, to become the person we were meant to be is already within us. All it takes is a decision. Self-doubt is one of the greatest enemies of progress. It creeps into the mind quietly, whispering that we are not good enough, not strong enough, not capable of reaching the things we dream about. It reminds us of past failures, of moments when we fell short, of times when we were rejected or overlooked. It magnifies our weaknesses and convinces us that success is for other people, not for us. And if we are not careful, we start to believe it. Doubt does not shout, it whispers. It disguises itself as caution, as wisdom, as being realistic. It makes us second guess our abilities, our purpose, and our potential. It tells us that we are too young, too old, too inexperienced, or too broken to achieve anything significant. It convinces us that our past defines us and that our mistakes have disqualified us from greatness. But doubt is a liar. It does not come from truth, and it does not serve us. It only exists to hold us back. Everyone faces self-doubt at some point. Even the most successful, confident people in the world have moments when they question themselves. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of doubt. It is the refusal to let doubt win. The people who rise, who break barriers, who step into their full potential are not the ones who never feel afraid. They are the ones who take action despite their fear. They understand that doubt is only powerful if we listen to it. The first step in overcoming self-doubt is recognizing where it comes from. Many times it is rooted in past experiences, times when we failed, when someone told us we weren't good enough, when we tried something and it didn't work out. The mind remembers those moments and tries to protect us from experiencing them again. But failure is not final, and it is not a sign that we are unworthy. It is simply a part of growth. Every successful person has failed, and most have failed more times than they can count. The difference is they did not allow those failures to define them. Instead of seeing failure as a reason to stop, they saw it as a lesson, a stepping stone towards something greater. Another source of self-doubt is comparison. We live in a world where it is easy to look at others and feel like we do not measure up. Social media, success stories, and highlight reels can make it seem like everyone else is doing better, achieving more, and moving faster than we are. But comparison is a trap. It steals joy, kills confidence, and blinds us to our own progress. The only person we should compare ourselves to is the person we were yesterday. Growth is not about being better than someone else. It is about becoming the best version of ourselves. Overcoming self-doubt requires action. Waiting for confidence to appear before taking action is a mistake. Because confidence does not come first, action does. The more we step out, the more we push past our fears, the more we realize that doubt was never telling the truth. Confidence is built by doing, by proving to ourselves that we are capable. The person who doubts whether they can run a marathon gains confidence by running a mile. The person who doubts whether they can start a business gains confidence by taking the first step. The person who doubts whether they can change their life gains confidence by making one small change today. Action destroys doubt. Our words and thoughts also play a huge role in overcoming self-doubt. Too often we speak words of limitation over ourselves without even realizing it. I'm not smart enough. I'm not talented enough. I'll never be able to do that. Words have power, and the more we repeat negative statements, the more they shape our beliefs. Instead of feeding self-doubt, we must start speaking truth over ourselves. We must remind ourselves of our strengths, of how far we have already come, of the times we overcame what once seemed impossible. Speaking words of faith, of belief, and of determination shifts our mindset and weakens the grip of doubt. The mind is a battlefield, and self-doubt is one of the strongest opponents we will ever face. But like any battle, it can be won. It is not about never feeling doubt. It is about refusing to let doubt dictate our decisions. It is about pushing forward even when fear is present. It is about trusting that we were created with purpose, that we are stronger than we think, and that our potential is far greater than we have ever imagined. Doubt may try to stop us, but it only wins if we let it. Every person has two versions of themselves, the one they are today and the one they have the potential to become. The gap between those two is filled with choices, habits, discipline, and growth. Becoming the best version of ourselves is not about comparing our lives to others, chasing perfection, or waiting for circumstances to change. It is about deciding to rise every single day, pushing past limitations and refusing to settle for anything less than what we were created for. Growth does not happen by accident. It requires intentional effort. Many people wish for change, dream of becoming better, and talk about the things they want to achieve, but only a few take the necessary steps to get there. It is not enough to want it. We must work for it. The best version of ourselves is not waiting in the distance, hoping to magically appear one day. It is forged through discipline, sacrifice, and relentless commitment to becoming better than we were yesterday. One of the biggest obstacles to growth is comfort. The human mind naturally seeks what is familiar and easy, but nothing great is ever built in a place of comfort. Growth requires stretching, stepping into the unknown, and pushing past the voice that says, "This is good enough." Many people settle in life not because they lack the ability to be great, but because they refuse to leave what feels safe. But safety is an illusion when it keeps us stuck. The best version of ourselves is not found in a place of ease. It is found in the fire, in the moments when we push through fear, when we take risks, when we keep going even when it is hard. Discipline is the foundation of personal growth. It is not a feeling, it is a decision. The best version of ourselves is not built on motivation, because motivation fades. It is built on the daily habits we choose, the sacrifices we make, and the consistency we maintain even when we don't feel like it. The people who rise, the ones who achieve great things, are not necessarily the most talented or the most gifted. They are simply the ones who refuse to quit. They wake up early, they do the hard things, they stay focused, and they keep moving forward. It is not about being perfect, it is about being committed. Our mindset is also a powerful factor in becoming who we are meant to be. The way we think determines the way we live. If we believe we are limited, if we believe we are stuck, if we believe we are not good enough, we will act accordingly. But if we choose to shift our thinking, to see possibilities instead of obstacles, to believe in our potential instead of our limitations, we open the door to transformation. The battle is always in the mind first. The best version of ourselves begins with how we think, what we believe, and the words we speak over our lives. The best version of ourselves is not just about what we accomplish, but also about who we become in the process. It is about developing character, integrity, and a spirit that refuses to be broken by adversity. It is about learning to handle setbacks with grace, to rise stronger after failure, to stay humble in success, and to keep growing no matter what life throws our way. Growth is not a destination. It is a lifelong journey. There is no final version of ourselves, no place where we arrive and say, I am finished. The best version of ourselves is always evolving, always improving, always reaching for something greater. Becoming the best version of ourselves requires action. It requires looking at our habits, our mindset, our discipline, and making the necessary changes to align with the future we want to create. It requires letting go of excuses, stepping past fear, and refusing to let the past define us. It is about rising up, taking ownership of our lives, and understanding that we are not stuck where we are unless we choose to be. The best version of ourselves is already inside us, waiting to be uncovered. The only question is, are we willing to do what it takes to become that person?